Are we going to fund the government?
Right now, no.
Hey guys, welcome to the Bulwark YouTube. I guess we can call this an emergency video cast, but it's just sort of, as Joe said, this is the new normal, so we shouldn't treat this like a crazy emergency. I'm here with Joe Perticone, Tim Miller. Subscribe to the feed, please, as always. We are coming at you on Thursday evening around 8 p.m. I'm just going to give a little bit of background, and then I'm going to turn it to the distinguished guest here. This is how it went, basically. Yesterday, there was a bipartisan deal to fund the government. Elon decided to go on a Twitter rampage. He killed it. Trump then joined him, strangled it to death. They demanded something different. Mike Johnson complied, put together a much smaller package, went from a 1,500-page bill to about a 140-page bill, cut out a lot of stuff, raised the debt limit per Trump's request. Trump endorsed the small package. They put it to a vote tonight, and the first vote failed pretty spectacularly. 38 Republicans are voting or did vote against it, which leaves us with 24 hours plus to fund the government and no clear way to do it, and a lot of internal House GOP squabbles and threats to Mike Johnson's speakership and so on and so forth. It is a mess, but Joe, you say this is the new normal or what we should just expect?
Yeah, this is, for the past 2 years with the Republicans in control in the House, this happened all the time. They tried really hard to get a speaker. They got him, then they kicked him out, tried several times to get more people in, failed repeatedly. And then they finally got Mike Johnson, and he's been the subject of deliberately tanked rule votes and all these problems. And America saw this and said, let's get a second helping. We want to keep doing this. And they're getting it. This is normal. This is exactly how it went down in 2017.
Are we going to fund the government?
Right now, no. I mean, money runs out tomorrow at midnight.
We're so just like nonchalant about it, but yeah, like of course we won't fund the government.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were multiple shutdowns during the first Trump presidency, including the
He's not
longest
president
one.
yet, just to be clear.
I know. Yeah, we have two.
Are we sure?
We have two lame duck presidents right now.
We have two lame duck presidents and then like a third quasi president.
Joe, explain to me who these 38 are. And you had Chip Roy, who I've had a lot of nasty things to say about over the years. We've had a couple of tense conversations, but say what you want about Chip Roy. He does seem to genuinely care about the debt and the deficit. And he was out there saying, look, I'm not going to vote for this to increase the debt limit unless we get some cuts. So that's one vote. But there are 37 others. So who are the other people that are saying no, Mr. Trump? I mean, to me, like that's the only surprising thing about this.
Right.
There are 37 people, 38 Republicans saying no, sir.
So it's important to be able to like distinguish the different types of Republicans. There are like the rank and filers who just do whatever leadership tells them. Then there's these like Trump sycophants who do whatever Trump tells them. And then there's these people kind of in the middle who are super MAGA, but they also understand their district. They understand the appeal of rebellion. And these kinds of members fall into this category where they say, I will never vote for a CR. I will never do this. And Thomas Massey's
even if Trump's like, I want you to vote for this. So,
but it's important to know that like Trump isn't tightening the screws on these people. He just said, we have a big, beautiful deal. Go vote for it. That is not enough for these people who are in these safe seats and who already have good relationships with MAGA world. And so they're not going to be targeted in a primary the way that someone who's drawn the ire of Trump like Chip Roy has.
Tim, you seem surprised that there's 38 that said no.
Well, I am, just because it's kind of this first test. And I guess Trump, it's not really the first test because Trump is not technically president yet, but it's this, Trump put out a statement that was very clear that said he was for the deal. And I just assumed that you would have enough Republicans just be like, okay, we're going to go along with Trump on this one. We'll deal with it later, whatever. And so I am kind of surprised there's that many. The reason I'm not shocked. I'm here at America Fest. You can see this is my credential. I'm a digital media. They qualify me as digital media.
Isn't everything digital media now?
I guess, which is Turning Point USA's annual festival that I always come to, the Coachella of MAGA. And the media crowd here, the Band and War Room team, Breitbart, they were whipped. They want to shut down, right? So like the element of this that is not surprising. The thing that Joe said that resonates with me is that like there is the old Thomas Massey line about how Republican voters aren't actually looking for the most conservative person; they're looking for the craziest son of a bitch in the race. Like the best way to demonstrate that you're the craziest, that you're an arsonist, that you don't care what these people in DC think is to just say F it, shut it all down at Christmas. I don't care. Let these other guys deal with it. And I think that like that streak is telling. And I wonder if it would have been different. I wonder if it would be different in March. I guess is what I say. What do you think about that, Joe? Do you think it would be different if Trump is actually in?
Let me just reference that before Joe, because to your point, we have Representative Ralph Norman asked what's next. He says there is no plan. Trump wants the thing to shut down. So yeah, you're right, they do. You had JD Vance up on the Hill. He says they being Democrats asked for a shutdown, and I think that's exactly what they're going to get. Democrats did not ask for a shutdown. They had a bipartisan
I think that's
deal.
an interesting messaging, though. It's funny. JD, like it shows you that this is a clusterfuck. That Ralph Norman's out there saying Trump wants a shutdown. JD's saying no, it's the Democrats that want it, and they're globalist speech codes. I don't even understand what he's talking about. He gives them. He's like the Democrats want these globalist speech codes, and so it is clear that like they're not even aligned within the Trump the Trump Vance Elon triumvirate.
Elon put it squarely on the Democrats. No self-awareness that he is personally responsible for killing this deal. Also, it's like, you know what? Only 2 House Democrats voted for this thing. It's pretty clear cut. They own it. It's like, buddy, the party that runs the House probably owns the defeat in the House, but maybe this is new to him. Anyways, Joe, I interrupted you.
Well, so like the difference now is like that since the Tea Party and the Freedom Caucus came around, we've actually learned that there aren't any political ramifications for causing dysfunction, because you can always blame the dysfunction on others. And so there really isn't any disadvantage to doing this. And I don't think that it's not a loyalty test of Trump. It only is when it's important things like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was a loyalty test for Trump. Confirming Supreme Court justices, that's a loyalty test. The cabinet nominations.
The cabinet nominations.
I kind of disagree. I think if the government is like completely shut down for a while when Trump takes office and the economy starts to kind of sputter a little bit because of it, and voters are like, what the fuck is going on? And like the TSA shit's going on. And Trump clearly doesn't want that. Like he's very,
don't they have to fund the government to pay for the inauguration?
There's $50 million in the CR for the inauguration. I don't know. I put it out on Twitter. I was like, what happens? Like
they'll just
what happens?
They'll round up all the CEOs at Mar-a-Lago
and like
just the donations.
But my point is that I think at some point Trump's like, this isn't good for me. So I don't think it's completely without pressure. I do take your point that House Democrats, House Republicans, they're kind of immune from the political backlash to a degree.
Yeah, because it eventually gets resolved, and then a year goes by when the elections are around and people just are thinking about gas and eggs.
Sure. Well, I guess the question is then the one member where it really matters is Mike Johnson, right? Like, what does he do? He's in trouble.
He's in trouble right now.
Yeah, he's in some trouble.
Yeah,
I think where did you put it this morning? Wait, hold on, Tim. Where did you put it this morning on Johnson?
I said about 60%.
That he retains
that he retains the speakership in January.
You still putting at 60?
I still think 60. I don't know, Joe. What say you?
I think he's bleeding chips severely. We're looking at like
why? I mean, he did exactly what Elon and Daddy Trump wanted this time. What is the argument against him?
Yeah, like so. For example, the speaker vote. That if Trump decides to weigh in on that will be a loyalty test. If Trump says you must vote for Mike Johnson, that'll be the real loyalty test. If he doesn't weigh in forcefully enough, or even if he just says, I like Mike in a very bland way, like
Mike,
you could see multiple rounds.
How many can he lose? How many can Mike lose? 4?
I think you lose 3 once you like start having 3, that's when the bargaining phase begins.
Okay. So here's why he's in trouble, Tim, because they need someone to blame for why this didn't work. Right? They orchestrated this entire thing. Elon killed the first one. Trump endorsed the second one. And when it doesn't pass, there's only one of two conclusions. Either Trump doesn't have the juice or Mike Johnson doesn't have the juice. And here's Matt Boyle on Twitter saying, tagging Elon Musk, mind you. See what I mean at Elon Musk? It's if Trump agenda is going to have a chance in the House next year, Republicans need a speaker not named Mike Johnson. Entirely his fault that this bill is going down. I mean, yeah, he's just going to take the fall for them.
Matt Boyle's a real power player. It's also I know that was said bluntly.
Earnest,
Bluntly. Matt Boyle's like a key player in Washington right now.
Yeah.
I think that again, it hurts their ability. We talked about this on the next level, and I was a little bit wondering, like, could they get their shit together enough to blame this on dementia Joe Biden? And just be like, ugh, look at this. Joe Biden, on his way out, it's chaos. And it just doesn't seem like they're capable because they're so much more animated by their internal fights, by fighting each other, makes them so much happier. And that's what gets it up for them is the internal dissension. And so I just think that is what they're going to focus on.
They could have blamed it on him if they had passed this bill. Like if this thing had passed the House, and it just then it would up to the Senate and Biden, then you could blame it on them, but they couldn't get out of their own way.
I do wonder if the Democrats, you got to hand it to them on this. An older Democratic Party would have folded on this. Would have been like, oh well, we got the disaster deal. I'm going to vote. Yeah, that's not true. These guys voted on CR. Not Harry Reid's like these guys voted on CRs. These guys have voted on some pretty terrible CRs over the years and bailed out John Boehner and bailed out Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah,
it's notable that they didn't bail him out. Is all that I'm saying. It should be noted that the Democrats could have bailed out Mike Johnson and did not.
Well, because Johnson has this speaker election in January in like 2 weeks. He can't strike a deal with Democrats. He can't say, come bail me out, because that would be toxic to his chances. So that's why we're at this impasse.
Yeah. All right. We're going to leave it there because I know Tim's got to go. Tim, I want some real good reports.
Do you want to see who's on my agenda tonight?
Yes.
We got Bannon. We got Charlie Kirk. Got Dr. Ben Carson. We got Donald Trump Jr. We got Tucker Carlson. And then we got Charlie Kirk again. We'll see how much I make it through.
Why are you double dipping with Charlie?
Well, it's Charlie's show. He's the intro and the close. So a lot happening tonight, and I'll be out among the MAGA youth, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they think.
I know Mike Johnson was supposed to be there. It's not happening anymore. Yeah. That's what I was told. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to hear what the people, what the MAGA Volk think.
I'm sure they want to shut this shit down. All right. Well, listen. Thank you for joining us, Joe. Thanks a bunch, man. We're doing this at 8:00. I just want people to know things are changing very rapidly. By the time this goes up, who knows if we're on plan D or E, but it doesn't look good for government being funded.
Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus subscriber. You get access to bonus podcasts, secret podcasts, and newsletters we put out every day, plus some behind-the-scenes takes that I don't always post on this feed. In addition, you can become part of the Bulwark community. Come over to our Substack and comment and meet other like-minded people. We'd love to have you. Starting today, you can get a free trial at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is right here on the screen and below in the description. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Come on and give it a free try today.